You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Y&R fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we need to talk about what is happening with Ashley Abbott and whether she's headed for a serious timeout in a mental health facility. So in the he said, she said between her and Tucker McCall, you got to wonder who's the one who's got it right and who is either lying or just not seeing things through a clear lens. Let's unpack what's going on with Ashley right now, but please click subscribe if you haven't already. All right. So, right now, Tucker's telling one tale about their final fight in Paris, and Ashley's telling quite another. Ashley even goes to Audra to make accusations about Tucker, and she calls him a gaslighter. Audra, is on the outs with Tucker. She said she doesn't want to be around him anymore, but she still disagreed with Ashley and said, that's just not Tucker's style. That's not his thing. That's not who he is. But in case you forgot, Ashley Abbott does have a history of mental instability. And so, while Tucker does not have a track record of gaslighting, maybe Tucker knows all about her history and is messing with her head somehow. So looking back, do you remember her first breakdown? That was when tennis pro Brent Davis was back in town and he found out he was dying. So Brent decided that he was going to reveal to Ashley that he was her biological father, not John Abbott, because he had had a fling with her mom, Dina Mergeron, years before. Dina and Catherine Chancellor both tried to talk Brent out of it. They tried to dissuade him, but he went ahead and did it anyway. Ashley was so shocked by the news that John Abbott wasn't her dad that she lost her memory, and she wound up working as a waitress at this little diner, little roadside place, calling herself Annie. And Dina and John Abbott finally found Ashley when a truck driver saw one of the flyers that they had put up looking for their lost daughter. And then he tried to squeeze them for some cash. But in the end, it was Victor Newman who found Ashley at the diner. He took her back to the ranch with him and Nikki to get better. So that was not her only breakdown, though. Not long after the memory loss incident, Victor found out Nikki was faking an illness to keep him away from Ashley. So he went ahead and filed for divorce from Nikki, planning to get back with Ashley. So if you don't remember all this, Ashley and Victor had been married, and then Nikki claimed she was dying, and so he divorced Ashley to grant Nikki's dying wish for a deathbed wedding. So when he found out that Nikki lied, then he was like, no, we're done. All right. But then, before he and Ashley could get remarried, Victor found out that Ashley had aborted his baby. She did that after he walked out on her to go marry Nikki on her supposed deathbed, and then decided to stay with Nikki. And when he found out about the abortion, Victor reamed Ashley so horribly that it pushed her right into another nervous breakdown not long after the first one. This time, Ashley lost her memories again. She wound up in a New York City mental health facility. Not a great place. Her dad, John Abbott, finally located her and brought her back to Genoa City to a nicer private institution. And Ashley recovered thanks to the devotion of her shrink. He was the one who was at the New York City facility. He actually followed her back to Wisconsin, and they eventually, but only temporarily, married. But this was not Ashley's only brush with mental health issues. The last go-round of her struggling was all because Adam Newman had horribly gaslit her. This was when she was with Victor. She was pregnant with Victor's child again. And Adam was doing all this stuff. He had somebody working with him to pretend to be someone dead. All this. He was tormenting her to the point that she thought she was crazy. She fell down the stairs. She lost her baby. And then Adam had a doctor convince her she was still pregnant. He stole Sharon's baby and gave the kid to her. That was baby Faith back in the day. And Ashley wound up in a mental hospital again alongside Sharon, who was suffering because she thought her baby died. Then the truth finally came out, and that was well after Victor and Ashley had split. So yeah, Ashley definitely has a history of instability. It always seems to come after a major traumatic event. And of interest, of course, is that the argument with Tucker was not after a traumatic event, but may have been a traumatic event in and of itself, So I just have to wonder, is Ashley struggling with her mental health now because the breakup of her new marriage to Tucker pushed her over the edge? I will say Tucker's not had a history of gaslighting people on Young and the Restless, a history of being a man whore who likes to cheat and run schemes on people, but not a gaslighter by nature. That's not to say he couldn't go there, but Tucker did point out some things to Ashley this week that are pretty convincing. She keeps going on and on about him getting violent and unhinged at this Paris restaurant. She says he smashed a glass of wine, he kicked over a chair while yelling at her. Tucker said if any of that happened, someone would have gotten involved. The cafe might have even called the police. They weren't in this deserted location. They were not alone. They weren't in their hotel room. They were at a restaurant, he said, with a full wait staff, lots of people around. It doesn't seem like something that would have been ignored if it happened the way she said it did. And he reminded her about all this and that there were people around. So for now, just now, I'm reserving judgment, and I'm wondering if Ashley Abbott might indeed be heading down a dark path with her mental health. Are we about to have an Ashley Abbott Emmy Reel storyline coming? Maybe. And even if Tucker is gaslighting her into it, that's really not any better because she's still at risk. So thankfully, her brother Jack believes in her and is supporting her, but we'll just have to wait and see if she needs even more support. Is Ashley about to be in a mental health spiral for the fourth time in her life? It could be. We'll find out soon. Hey, if you haven't already, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates. Definitely drop your comments. Do you believe Tucker? Do you believe Ashley? Do you think the truth is somewhere in the middle? What do you think's going on in her head? Drop your comments. Definitely come back for more because we are here talking Y&R 7 days a week. And as always, it's Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.